I just walked up on a dead body.
Are you for sure he's deceased?
Oh yeah, I'm for sure. I was just out for a walk and I walked up on it.
Yeah, there's some snow patches. Oh, yeah. Oh. Looking a little. Oh, what the? Who's that? What the? God.
Some outdoor encounters become terrifying because the danger is never clear. One camper found strange wooden objects beside his shelter, while another watched a rescued moose suddenly turn and attack. Were these isolated incidents or warnings that the wilderness should never be underestimated? Brad, who runs the YouTube channel Exploring with Brad, records outdoor explorations throughout Ontario. On February 19th, 2026, he ventured alone into a forest connected to legends of a mysterious being known as the Blue Man. His journey started peacefully beneath the trees in winter stillness, yet unease surfaced almost at once. What was meant to be a calming getaway quickly turned into something more unsettling.
The place is basically plagued by this phenomenon known as the Blue Man. And get this party started. So let's go, guys. You almost blind yourself. I accidentally put the light in my eyes. That wasn't fun, was it? Okay, here we go. Oh, I heard it again, but I heard like movement, like there was running, and like a bird-like creature. Like it sounds like some sort of like basically a raptor bird. That's what that sounds like. I heard that running though. I don't know if the camera picked it up or not. Coming from over here. Okay, I'll go down.
As Brad traveled farther through the forest, a sudden hiss or growl interrupted the quiet. The noise resembled an animal, though he was unable to recognize it. He also detected movement close by, despite seeing nothing. Assuming wildlife was responsible, Brad kept heading toward the campsite. Once there, he assembled his shelter and kept a gap open near the top.
Yeah, so I have like a few walls up. Obviously, if it rains, I'm out of luck because I left an opening at the top. But I kind of wanted that and stuff, so...
Later, he rested inside the tent and drifted to sleep as his spirit communication device remained active next to him. During the night, Brad abruptly awoke to heavy knocking beyond the shelter.
We were butchered with our stomachs empty. Pieces of my body scattered. Will you help me find them?
It sounded like something was on the other side of my... It sounded like something was on the other side of my tent. That scared the hell out of me. There's something out there. Hello?
Lighter taps came next, followed by a piercing scream that rang across the woods. The noise sounded more like a person than an animal. Alarmed and disoriented, Brad checked outside, but no one was there, and he discovered nothing explaining the disturbance. As he examined the surroundings, he spotted several small wooden items resembling eggs beside one edge of the campsite. Brad did not know how they had arrived there, and finding them increased his anxiety.
They look like little wooden eggs. What was that? I can't stay here. There's something out there. We better go. I better go. I can't stay here. That was creepy.
Shortly afterward, a disturbing voice carried through the darkness and appeared to address him. Brad concluded that staying was no longer safe and started gathering his possessions. While collecting his gear, he heard the same voice once more from somewhere within the trees. As Brad followed the path leading away from camp, he realized that a piece of wood noticed earlier had disappeared. Not long afterward, he heard noises resembling someone weeping and asking for help farther inside the forest. Brad approached the noise and called into the darkness, yet no one responded. The forest stayed deserted and silent.
There's a break, but I remember that There was actually a piece of wood dangling. It's not there anymore. Hello? Somebody out there. Somebody that needs help. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. I could hear somebody screaming help. Sounded like some guy. Let's go. Let's go check it out. Oh man. Hello? Someone out there? This is weird.
As he went onward, the warped cries sounded again, blending urgent pleas with panicked screaming. Everything started to seem related. First came the hiss, then movement among the trees knocking beyond the tent, the sudden scream of the wooden items, and the voice that called in his direction. Following his instincts, Brad stopped the investigation and hurried along the path outside, creating as much distance as he could between himself and the woods. Trees and irregular terrain can redirect echoes, making faraway noises appear nearby or seem to come from somewhere else. Even so, the objects beside Brad's shelter remain harder to account for. Were normal forest sounds enough to frighten him, or was something intentionally attempting to lure him farther among the trees? On July 12, 2025, Paranormal Discovery posted a video documenting the host's return to a lake associated with paranormal activity. His dog Kia came along with him. During the visit, he referred to an online review written by someone who said a mysterious figure had chased them away from the wooded area.
This is my dog child. We're gonna go camp out over at the haunted lake. Angelo found a review of some guy. I don't know if this guy was trolling or not. After our first time coming here, we found a review stating that some guy came and was chased out by someone lurking in the forest here. Kind of seems weird and odd to me, but it's a legit review. I mean, if there is people out here or somebody trying to scare people out, I've been driving for about 10 to 12 minutes down this dirt path, and we finally just pulled up. I'm maybe like a 10-minute drive up the road from a haunted lake. I'm pretty sure he's back in Ontario as of right now, as I'm speaking legit. It's just me and Kia. So we're gonna take on the spot alone. But the weird thing is we know that there is something lurking up in here. I don't know if it's a person. I do remember when I came with Angelo, we went up to where the haunted lake, we were just checking it out, but I remember coming back to the campsite and our camp was ransacked, but somebody ransacked it. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. So what I'm gonna do is drive up to the site, set up the tent, have a little cookout, take on the night, because man, it's gonna be another one of those nights, guys, where we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. Let's go. We gotta go up. What's up, baby? What's going on? No, we're not walking that way. That's the way back. We gotta go this way.
At first, the host questioned whether the account was genuine. That doubt began fading once he arrived at the campsite. The surrounding forest turned unusually quiet, without birds or insects producing any sound at all. Kia behaved differently as well, remaining watchful while still appearing calm. While the host collected firewood and made food, strange noises started emerging from the trees.
Okay, so I've been hearing something down there. It's coming from that way now. At first, I thought I heard like a Bigfoot thing down there, but there's something coming from down there. Watch out there, Kiki. We're not going down that way. It's kind of sketch because I don't want her going down there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let you go. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Just like that. Okay. Hello?
Whistling that originally resembled bird calls started to repeat in distinct patterns, almost like something was imitating him or responding directly to him. Before long, sharp clapping sounds traveled through the woods, followed by a prolonged low screech. The host started sensing that something was circling the campsite and observing him.
I just heard a whistle from behind the camera. It's coming from a haunted lake. The lake is that way. Hello? Oh! What the f was that? Holy shit! What the f is that? Oh, shit. Buck's key. Holy shit. That was a Bigfoot. Okay, back. No. Come, sit. I kid you not, that was a freaking Bigfoot call. Holy shit. What the fuck? That's not happening. No, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. Man, I feel, holy shit, I feel like as soon as I pulled up and got out and started doing things here, my energy started being pulled and drained. I feel like something spiritual is it's hitting me right now. Like I have goosebumps. I legitimately have goosebumps right now. Yeah, you can see the goosebumps on me. Shit, man. Yeah, I have goosebumps, man. It feels like something is doing this to me. I don't know why, but it's trying to get my attention. Wow, sitting here, there's so much spiritual energy coming. Could have heard a Bigfoot somewhere, but also right now, there's a lot of spiritual, like passed on people, probably somebody who used the land. Man, I feel like my brain's just sideways right now. Oh. I don't know what this is.
Cracking branches and distant voices became increasingly noticeable. Powerful movement disturbed the brush nearby as his flashlight flickered and shadowy forms appeared among the trees. Although frightened, the host stepped into the darkness to search for the source. Far away, he spotted a tall, oddly shaped figure standing between the trees. Concerned for Kia, he cut the investigation short and left the location visibly disturbed. He felt that something had intentionally tracked and watched them. When a forest falls entirely silent, even minor noises may seem nearby and dangerous. Even so, the patterned whistles and distant figure remain difficult to account for. What do you believe was watching them from within the darkness? One terrifying night, a stranger shattered his vehicle window and made him completely reconsider the dangers of spending nights inside a van. On November 13th, 2022, van life YouTuber Indy Van A. Jones published a video describing what happened. He values the independence and uncomplicated way of living that his small camper provides. The day began pleasantly. Indy and his partner explored England's Lake District, taking a boat trip and spending the entire day sightseeing. Because Indy needed to start work early the next morning, he eventually parked at a familiar spot where he had stayed on multiple previous occasions. He usually avoided that location on weekends because groups of street racers regularly met there. Since the night was a Wednesday, he believed the area would stay quiet. His expectation changed soon after midnight when several loud vehicles pulled in. Unable to rest, Indy left and located another place to park within an industrial estate. The surroundings included large trucks and dim street lights. With only several hours left before his shift, he moved into the camper's rear section and soon fell asleep. At exactly 3:01 a.m., a brick crashed through the side window and struck the seat next to him.
This side, feet were down that side. I had a sheet over that part so no light could get in and all that. It had a bit of sound deadening too. After the brick came in, an arm followed it, grabbed my work bag and shot back out the window. Male instinct kicked in. I shouted, "Oi!" started flapping around, opened the back door and ran after them. Before I got to them, they jumped in a van.
Before Indy could process the situation, an arm pushed through the shattered opening, seized his work bag, and vanished almost immediately. Reacting instinctively, Indy rushed out of the van barefoot and dressed only in pajamas. He chased the thief across the industrial estate, but the individual reached a waiting van and got away before Indy could close the distance. After returning, Indy faced another complication.
Whenever I'm in the van, I get my keys, find the lock button and listen. The van is locked while I'm inside the van. However, there is a little latch down the side of the door to get out. So there's me out running down this industrial estate, trying my hardest to catch them. There's nothing really valuable in the work bag at all. A couple of tachograph cards and just all the stuff a driver would need in his work bag. The whole van's alarm system's going off. I tried to get in the back, realising instantly that I had no clothes on. It was locked. Hold on. Side door was locked. This door was locked. The alarm's going off, drawing loads of attention to the van. I jumped out the van, left the keys inside the van, and I'd gone running off. The van had locked itself. Luckily, to an extent, luckily, the side window was missing. A brick had just gone through. I had to crawl my naked butt through there into the back to get the keys to unlock the van, to disable the alarm system so that the alarm would stop going off. Just get myself sorted, figure out what to do, what's just happened.
His keys remained inside, and because the camper was already locked, the doors automatically locked again once he exited. The alarm kept blaring as he stood outside with no normal way to re-enter. Because the side window had been smashed, Indy crawled through the gap, retrieved his keys, opened the doors, and silenced the alarm. He then inspected which belongings were missing. The stolen bag held his tachograph cards, CPC card headphones, sunglasses, lunch, and several additional work items. The contents had limited financial value, but replacing the documents would still have cost both money and time. After organizing replacement paperwork and a temporary repair for the window, Indy received surprising information. A passerby had discovered the discarded bag and contacted his workplace. Eventually, every item inside was returned. Although his possessions were recovered, the break-in left Indy badly shaken. He chose to add CCTV cameras around the camper for greater protection. Quiet industrial estates often lack witnesses, making unattended vehicles more attractive targets. Indy got his bag back, but the intruder might have caused much more serious harm. Would this incident convince you to stop sleeping inside a van? This unsettling encounter demonstrates exactly how rescuing a wild animal can suddenly turn dangerous within only a few moments. A man was hiking through the forest when he spotted something unusual, much farther ahead in the distance. As he approached, he discovered a young moose that seemed trapped or secured by several straps. Thinking the animal required immediate assistance, the man moved closer and started working carefully to release it. He eventually succeeded in freeing the young moose, but the situation became dangerous almost immediately.
Here now. Come on, little girl. Hey. Oh, you're a mean little girl. No call on being nasty. Hey, come on. First time I ever got beat up by a baby moose. Oh, I think I'm south of you. I'm just having a hard time letting this girl loose.
Rather than running off, the animal suddenly turned toward the man and began kicking him. The strangest part was how calmly the man responded afterward. He described being struck by the young moose as though the painful incident were completely ordinary, despite the attack clearly appearing to hurt him. The scene also raised questions about how the animal reached that condition. One possibility was that the moose had been restrained during a relocation attempt because it had previously caused trouble. However, that explanation still failed to clarify why someone had left it tied there. Even a juvenile moose can possess enough strength to seriously injure someone, particularly when frightened or under stress. Wild animals may defend themselves even when a person is attempting to help them. It was an unusual encounter, and the man was lucky the animal had not reached full size. After watching what happened there, do you think he would have attempted the same rescue if the moose had been fully grown? Brian has a strong interest in mountain biking and launched the BKXC channel to document that passion while traveling through remarkable scenery across some of the most impressive landscapes he had ever visited. On November 27, 2018, BKXC posted footage recorded during a ride in Tibet. Many trails Brian visits pass through isolated forests and mountainous terrain. These remote environments also contain wildlife, and during this journey, Brian and his companion encountered something neither of them had anticipated. It was neither a bear nor a cougar. Seen from far away, the dark creature and its wide horns gave it a nearly frightening look. The situation might have become far more dangerous.
Yeah, there's some snow patches. Oh, yeah. Oh, looking a little dangerous here. Oh, you motherfucker! Get back. Go. Keep going. Yeah.
But after Brian faced the animal, it finally moved back. The creature was a yak, an animal distinct from cattle and buffalo. Yaks are generally peaceful, although they may become aggressive when threatened, provoked, or during mating season. Given the animal's enormous size and power, the outcome could have been completely different if it had decided to charge forward. Thankfully, Brian and his companion escaped without injury. Ultimately, the most unsettling part may have been the yak's intimidating appearance instead of any real attack. But how would you have responded if you found it blocking the trail directly ahead of you? What would you do if one campsite made you uneasy, only for the place you moved to next to reveal something even more unsettling? This story follows Jason and Katie, a couple who departed their home in northern Alberta after Jason received a diagnosis involving a long-term illness. Seeking a quieter and more relaxed lifestyle, they started living on the road and documenting their journey through their YouTube channel, Shifting Gears to RV Life. On May 4th, 2026, the channel posted footage from a visit to Lake Mojave, where an unexpected event completely transformed their trip.
We've had other people that were basically tripping over our stairs, walking through our area.
Yeah, we don't mind and everybody else enjoying their time.
That's boondocking.
When they're tripping over our front steps and there's a whole lot of beach or a whole lot of land in front of those steps, it just makes you feel a little weird.
There was two people leaning against the front cap of our rig.
Yeah.
While they were just
chatting.
They walked in between our truck and our trailer and stopped, leaned up against it, started talking. I mean, I've never experienced that before. A few hundred yards away or whatever, which is fine. Never really invaded
our space,
or us, them kind of thing, unless we happen to be walking around. That was just, it was a blatant disregard for our personal space. We decided to pack up and leave.
Other campers nearby began acting in ways that made Jason and Katie feel uncomfortable. The campsite no longer seemed calm or welcoming, so they chose to gather their belongings and relocate somewhere else. They expected the second site to provide the privacy and peaceful surroundings they wanted. However, after reaching it, they discovered something extremely disturbing.
It kind of spooked me. I didn't know what to do, so I'm gonna call 911, I guess.
Okay, let's do it where there's no wind and you can hear it.
This is uneasy.
Well, we were worried like 2 days ago when we got here because...
not that we were worried, and then I was just going for a walk and I ran up on it, or walked up on it I should say, and it's a real shame.
We never like to see any fellow RVers or campers or anything like that come to harm.
I'm just gonna call 911.
Yeah.
I just walked up on a dead body.
Are you for sure he's deceased?
Oh yeah, I'm for sure. I was just out for a walk and I walked up on it. Or on him.
Are you okay?
So right now, 911 has put Jason on hold and they're trying to transfer him to the county that we're in.
It's really quite upsetting to see a deceased person firsthand. This really shocked me. Man, it's...
County Sheriff's Office, they said that you have found a deceased body?
That's correct. My wife is actually going over to take a picture of the license plate of the vehicle. I don't know if that will help you. Calling a 911 is one thing, but to have to do it because you walked up on a deceased person is completely different.
I was gonna say you look a little rocked.
debrief of what the sheriff said?
Well, basically took our information and he said there was no foul play. He actually wanted to see my shoes that I was walking in, which obviously if there was footprints around there. So he said it looks like he either fell or maybe had a heart attack or something. And it's Friday the 13th, guys. You can't script this. Honest to God.
The finding instantly changed the atmosphere and left both of them visibly shaken. It was the type of situation that may be hard to fully understand without being present when it occurs. Remote wilderness areas can appear calm and private, but their isolation may also conceal things from sight. Jason and Katie had relocated in search of somewhere calmer and quieter, yet instead encountered something much more unsettling in a place where they had expected peace and privacy. How would you respond after finding something unexpected in such an isolated place? On June 10th, 2026, Dan of the YouTube channel Cursed Urban posted an overnight camping investigation from a forest rumored to have ties to Wendigo legends. The location was already associated with the reports of strange voices, dark figures, and unexplained encounters that had terrified visitors for years. He traveled deep into the woods to examine those disturbing claims. But as the night progressed, unsettling warnings, screams, and mysterious noises made the forest seem far less deserted. As they continued farther through the trees, the atmosphere grew steadily more uncomfortable. It seemed that something concealed nearby had already noticed their arrival.
There has been disembodied voices being heard in the woods. There's been shadow people. There's been even apparitions spotted. But yeah, we are out on our preliminary hike and we're gonna go see what we got, and then we'll return to the campsite and chill, run some spirit talker, run some other tests, and see what else we get.
Then, an unsettling warning unexpectedly came through the recording equipment. The voice appeared familiar, although the message caught him off guard. Moments afterward, a powerful impact erupted somewhere close, leaving Dan motionless before he finally called toward the darkness. No response came.
Dude, it said leave right now, and then that was loud. Hello? Anybody back there?
Following another silent pause, a piercing scream sounded from deep within the forest. It seemed human, and ended nearly as quickly as it started, leaving complete silence afterward.
Gotta take my back. Yo, dude, I just heard somebody scream. I just heard somebody scream from that way. I just heard like a woman scream. Let's say, what response did I just get? I just heard a scream.
Not long later, several loud explosive noises echoed through the woods, but nothing was visible in that direction. The increasing uncertainty gave him the strong impression that something close by was observing them from the darkness. Thick trees and uneven ground can cause screams and heavy impacts to echo unpredictably, making their actual distance difficult to determine.
I literally just heard gunshots that way too.
She doesn't like you.
She doesn't like you. Guys, I'm getting that feeling again. Getting that feeling that I'm not alone out here, that I'm being watched or something. I'm just getting the feeling that I shouldn't be here, that I'm not supposed to be here.
Even so, after the warning, the scream and the later noises, would you have remained there during the unsettling night or left immediately? On June 1st, 2026, Dee of the YouTube channel Dee's Dark Adventures explored an isolated, deteriorating farmhouse located far from any signs of civilization. The abandoned structure had shown unusual activity, including moving objects, unexplained footsteps, and sudden cold spots that seemed disturbingly close. As night closed around the property, the house began feeling occupied, even though it appeared empty. As Dee moved farther inside, her anxiety increased.
I'm at this farmhouse. It's abandoned. I stopped by here yesterday, which I'm gonna upload that video on the other channel, which you've probably already seen it. This place is creepy. I heard a woman's voice. Hello? I can't turn the camera around quick enough. It's just woods. Okay. Hello?
Without warning, heavy movement rushed through one section of the building before vanishing from view. The noise sounded forceful and intentional, reminding her of similar activity she had experienced during a previous visit. Her fear continued growing as more unexplained events happened nearby.
Something big was in here. I heard something run off yesterday too, so. Something was just in here. Hello?
The damaged flooring made navigating the house difficult, while one door remained stuck despite attempts to open it. Still unsettled, she called into the quiet and asked whether someone was present.
Hello? Hello? Where is all this movement coming from, guys? The floor is worse than the one I just fell through. I can't get the door to push open. Alright. I'm still shaking, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, hello. Is there anybody here? I want to gift you something, and I'm sorry for intruding. I thought there was people living here. Maybe I could help.
She then observed two strange changes around her. A light breeze could be felt, but it did not appear strong enough to explain what she was witnessing, leaving her even more confused. Later, Dee felt something large moving upstairs, before apparently returning downstairs. She called out once more, but received no definite response while the tension kept building.
There's two spots. Look. Oh, what the heck is going on? I don't know what's happening. Is that, maybe it's just the way I don't know, dude. That's creepy. Only ones do. Oh, all I do is back up and it looks like it's changed. I don't know, guys. This place is weird. I'm just coming and recording. What is that?
Aging buildings can create sudden sounds when weakened floors move wood contracts or air passes through damaged walls. These effects may resemble footsteps or motion from another room. Perhaps the farmhouse itself produced some of the noises, but the repeated activity was difficult to dismiss. Do you believe the building was empty? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.